my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the best music of 2024, aka what I most listened to last year, my favorite songs, my favorite albums, my year in music review as per se. I'm going to divide into categories: singles and albums. Since I've been doing reaction videos, I have been enjoying more the experience of going through a whole album, and sometimes I do it for the channel, sometimes I just listen on my own. But I wanted to chat about just how much great music we got in 2024. One thing that has helped me keep track of what were my most listened songs in a month was doing the What's on Your Playlist videos, where I will put together these collections of songs that are just my favorites of the month. So let's start with singles. Starting off in January, I could not stop listening to Not My Fault. It is a song that came from the Mean Girls movie. The Mean Girls movie remake is not great, but that song, if I take out of the context, I would just listen on repeat, have such a fun time with it. It's not my fault, you're like in love with me. It's not my fault, you're like in love with me. You're like in love with me. It's pretty catchy. I haven't listened to Renee rap before this, like I didn't get to her Snow Angel album, so I'm not familiar with her, but from this single, I can just say that she seems like a pretty fun gal. And of course, she features with Megan Thee Stallion. Following that, by Houdini from Dua Lipa. I am not the greatest fan of Radical Optimism, the album. I think that everyone who has listened knows that it's not the next future nostalgia. It is a great effort from her. But Houdini? I mean, the production of Kevin Parker. He just came through, and it's an amazing track. I must say, it is the song of the whole album that I probably listened the most in 2024. I did enjoy Training Season after listening to the album, but just not in the same scale, man. Catch me or go Houdini. Next song is Your Apartment by Wallows. I mean, if you have watched my channel before, you would know that I'm a Wallows fan, baby. Any single that was released before Model, before the album, I could put it in here. It's just that Your Apartment is definitely the one that brought them back of their hiatus. We didn't get new songs from them since Tell Me That It's Over, and so they came back with Your Apartment and blew my mind, man. I even cried the first time that I listened to that song because I was like, damn, this is just too profound. I'm so glad that they are my favorite band. There's no other feeling. Getting into now, The Last Dinner Party with their song Nothing Matters. I believe that I got into them in April, and then I decided to make the video on Prelude to Ecstasy. You will hear from them again. And Nothing Matters is a joyful song. It's a freaking celebration of being a woman in a way. Yeah, of life, of just being free and letting yourself fall in love to them, maybe getting your heart broken. Nothing matters, but at the same time, everything matters. Being alive, being here. The Last Dinner Party came through in 2024 as this band that made me want to embrace more my womanhood. We didn't get a band like them for the girlies for a long time. We get our girly pops, we get them, but like a band made just of ladies, pretty rare. So I'm really glad that they decided to come together. Next single is It's That Me Espresso. I mean, come on. I love my girly pops, and I've been accompanying Sabrina's journey since she came with Emails I Can Send. I've been on the hype train for her since then. It is great to have a girly pop who is just so fun and brings those fun songs for you to just distress. I'm working late cause I'm a singer. In my case I would be like, I'm working late cause I'm an editor.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I guess so.
Now the next single is Too Sweet by Rosier. That song has been everywhere and I'm no different of being addicted to it. I have to affirm that I probably only know his popular music. I don't know anything that's more niche of him. And I feel the need to one day wanna do an album react of his because I believe that he has a lot of interesting things to say. With that song Eat You're Young, for example, I was blown away with the commentary that he was doing there. But yeah, Too Sweet is just a take on living your life without many worries, without wanting to be the person who does everything right, who has a little routine and keeps to it and never slips out of it. Don't you wanna just get out of that controlled environment and just live freely? Something like that. Absolute lyricism. You're too sweet for me. Okay, now I need to talk about, this one gets me so excited. I was shuffling on Spotify and the song came to me and it is No One Noticed by the Marias. Like, oh my freaking god, are you kidding me? That is my baby. Like, I thought I was the only one who got aware of that. No, that song got pretty famous too. But man, what a song, what a vibe. I felt transcended in that song. I'm so excited to maybe listen to one of their albums. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video for it, or if it's going to be on my own. But I just know I must. I just know it's a must for me to do. Our next song is Fortnite by Taylor Swift featuring Post Malone. I had to include this one because after I listened, it got stuck in my head. Like, I know that not everyone is a Taylor Swift fan, and I say I'm a casual enjoyer of her music. I like calm songs. I like songs that have a slow pace and they don't need much to build up, and I think that for me it works. Fortnite for me works. The whole album, The Tortured Poets Department, I would say that there are some highlights in there for sure. There are some songs that I definitely have listened a lot throughout the year, but it's not on the same level for me to put it like as one of my favorite albums of the year. I will just mention that Guilty as Sin, My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, and Clara Bow are songs that have stuck out with me. And this next one, of course, is Good Luck Babe by Chaperone. 2024 was the year of Chaperone. Like, I love how she dresses up for her performances, how she really takes it as to create an environment, a presence. She has stage presence, okay? And this single, this storytelling, 10 out of 10. That bridge, ooh, that bridge.
Emotional damage.
We're getting to our last songs here of my singles part. Next one is one that was not released in 2024, I gotta say already, but I only started to listen for real last year, and it's Piazza New York Catcher from Bella Sebastian. I rewatched Juno and I noticed that song in the soundtrack and I just had to listen to it and it got to me, it really did. I've been listening to the Juno soundtrack since the first time that I saw the movie, but that song never really caught to me the way that it did last year, and I think that's interesting. But yeah, if you like your indie artist and if you like just cozy songs, I would definitely recommend that one.
With me, most private, and we'll sail around the world.
Next up is Take a Bite by Biba Doobie. I just got into her in 2024 I did a review for This Is How Tomorrow Moves, and it was because of Take a Bite. It was because I heard that single and I gotta see what else she does, because it's such a good song. She's bringing that 90s 2000s vibe of music that we sort of getting now from artists who grew up listening to it, right? If Take a Bite is the first song that you listen to like I did, and it doesn't make you wanna get into Biba Davis music, I don't know what that says about you. All I know is that for me, it got me to get into her music, and I couldn't be happier. Our last single is a controversial one. I would say that because it's Up To by Rosie featuring Bruno Mars. That song is like a gum. You chew until the flavor is lost. I didn't thought that I was going to get addicted to that song, and I did, and I don't know how I feel about that. Because there are times that I listen to it and I'm like, that part where she repeats up to, it's a little annoying, I would say. But when you get to the parts where she's like, don't you want me like I want you, baby? I'm like, damn, I like this. Especially after Bruno gets in the music. Yeah, I cannot deny that it was a song that I kept listening. It's a fun song for the audience, for the entertainment. It's a popular one.
All you gotta do is just meet me at the
Okay, let's talk about albums now. I'll start with my baby, Wallows, Model. I have been listening to the singles until the release of the album, and when the album came out, I feel like the only song outside the singles that got to me was Don't You Think It's Strange. But then I kept listening to the album throughout the year, and then I started liking She's an Actress, I started liking Going Under. I feel like it's a very diverse album because it has literally a little bit of everything. You start with Your Apartment, you go to Anytime Always, then we go to Calling After Me to get the marvelous Bad Dream, followed by A Warning. That first half of the album for me, top tier. Wallows, you know? I still don't quite go for it like I would mind in Canada, but then I started to grow much into the later half of the album. Definitely the most bold project of our boys so far. I believe they're still going to continue to surprise us because that's what they do. And I'm proud to be a Wallows fan. Simple as that. I just am so glad that they are my favorite band. I cannot stress that enough.
You got everybody calling, but I know that you're calling after me.
Next, like I mentioned before, is Prelude to Ecstasy from The Last Dinner Party. A very, very special first album. I feel like I said a lot already just in the single part, but I never felt more seen as a woman. I never felt like a message came through more to me than what the songs in this album have to offer. On Your Side, Sinner. My Lady of Mercy really grew on me after I listened to the album throughout the year. I still think Mirror is heartbreaking but so good. Nothing Matters, of course, Burn Alive, The Feminine Urge. Like I said, they are bringing something that we don't have now. We don't have a girly band who is for the girlies, who just is here saying, embrace your womanhood, embrace being feminine, embrace being you. That album has some party songs. I feel that we don't get that much from popular media. Outside Sabrina Carpenter, we don't get songs that really dive deep into a woman's lust. Yeah, if I were to give best debut to anyone in music last year in 2024, it is The Last Dinner Party. I love them very much. I don't give it to Chaperone because her album came out in 2023, even though it was her rising year, 2024. Speaking of which, the next album is The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess. I had no knowledge of Chaperone before getting to her album this year, What an album, what a game changer, really. Starting with Feminine Nominal, freaking bold move, my girl. And then getting Coffee and Casual in the middle, which was like, ooh, she's going to slow down in parts. That's interesting. Hot to Go, My Kink is Karma, Naked in Manhattan, Pink Pony Club, like this girl. I know that she been working her ass off to get into the industry for a bunch of years now. It's always like that. It's always people who have been working much time than we know, and they achieve this success, and we are just so glad to be here and enjoying that music. That thing of dressing up for a performance, I miss that. I really like that we are kind of bringing that back. Depending on the artist, we see Olivia for her Guts World Tour, it's a way of dressing up. For Trenton Sweet Tour, Sabrina really went into those PJs, those old PJs, lingerie and stuff. And then for Chapel, she just keeps bringing a different outfit each time, and I love it because I love fashion, but that's another subject. I believe that she has some important things to say when it comes to like privacy and what it means to be an artist in this day and age. So great to be able to presence a rising star. Talking about Sabrina, of course Short and Sweet is here. Are you kidding me? I think that Outside Wallows is the most that I listened to an album last year, because every song kinda hits for me. She really outdid herself here, I believe. Still in As I Can Say, it's more personal. She needed to get it out, all the stuff that she said there. But then she had the liberty to just make fun pop now in Short and Sweet. And look where that got her. I claim Juno as my song in the album. I'm impressed how I started enjoying Batkin when I first listened. I was just like, it's fun, but I don't think I'm gonna love it. I went a lot in Star for Good Graces or Coincidence. The ones that I just don't go and watch too is like Light Girls or Dumb and Poetic, because they're kinda downer songs, but they also have their moment to be listened to. Now, talking about artists that wasn't mentioned in our singles list, it is our girl Billie with Hit Me Hard and Soft. I love her Happier Than Ever album. You can have your opinion if it's great or not. For me, I keep going back to it and I just keep enjoying more and more. With Hit Me Hard and Soft, I love the 10 tracks only. I love a short album. When it's too long, sometimes you get lost a little bit on what the artist is trying to say, or you keep delving too much into something that, like, I get it. With Billie, I always am impressed by the production of her brother Phineas, because it's the most fun song in the album. Lunch is what I listen the most from it, but I have to say my favorite song is L'amour de ma vie. Gosh, I still think it's impressive how Chihiro grew so much on me, because the first time that I listened to, I was trying to make sense of how it tied to Spirited Away, but after I just let it go, I kept reaching so much more for that song. I know that the most famous ones are probably Birds of Feather and Wildflower, just not my favorites. The work of Hit Me Hard and Soft is just to show Billie's range, how she's growing into music, and how she's maturing herself too. I had to add this one in here. It's Eternal Sunshine by Ariana Grande. I mean, 2024 was her wicked year, surely, but we also got Eternal Sunshine. It's her most personal work to date. I really did find myself reaching for songs in that album in ways that at the beginning of the year, like when it released, I didn't think it was going to be the case, because Ariana is not like a favorite artist of mine. I kept going back to Don't Wanna Break Up Again, to Bye, Bye Bye Boy, Boy Bye. The title track, Eternal Sunshine. My favorite is definitely Supernatural and Imperfect for You. I'm not the greatest fan of Yes and. That's classic Ariana in a way, but for me it doesn't do much. I could not leave it out of like one of my favorite albums of the year, because I did listen to a lot of it. Next up, I brought Billy, so I gotta bring her brother Phineas with For Crying Out Loud. It was one of the most anticipated albums for me, and when he released the single For Crying Out Loud, the title track, I got addicted to it. Really helped myself from listening to any other songs until the album was released. Because Phineas is one of my favorite artists. I love his music, really. I love what he's bringing to it. I still think that he's also an artist that we don't get a lot of it today. We got a lot of nostalgia hearing this album, especially with Cleats. And ending the album with Lotus Eater, like, I was not prepared for that. It's such a throwback. I love that song so much. I also enjoy a lot 2001. Pretty fun one. I would say that the most chill ones didn't get to me like the way the Optimism got to me, but I did address the Family Feud is beautiful, and I was so touched by it. This is just for me to say that if you have not listened to Phineas, just reach out. His most famous one, I think it's probably Let's Fall in Love for the Night. And if that's your cup of tea, go try his discography, because it's pretty good and pretty different from what Billy does.
Crying out loud, I'm calling your name.
Next one, I gotta say, I only listened to at the end of the year. Since I was doing this video, I had to mention it's Can't Sense Anymore by Role Model. I did not give anything when I decided to listen to this. I didn't know even what it was calling me. Yes, he's the ex of Emma Chamberlain, even though I don't know her that well, I didn't watch her videos growing up. There was a lot behind, in a way, knowing that, you know? And I was not expecting it to be one of my favorite albums of the year. But it is. I spent the whole December listening to this goddamn man. And it is a special album, okay? It is a breakup album, but it's also a growth album, because what he does in here, the respect he has for his ex is something that I'm mesmerized by it. This man truly loved her, and he truly assumes the things that were his mistakes and how it didn't went down great in the end of the relationship. And so we have songs like Look at That Woman, one of my favorites, Frances by Gemini, Deeply Still in Love, which is very indie. Super Glue is one of my favorites, which when I first listened I didn't think so, but Jesus, I've been listening to Super Glue a lot. And Sleep Fast. So Far Gone. I can mention this album all day. I think that he did it. I don't know how he sounded before this, but this album is really special. To finish off, I have two honorable mentions. Bewitched and This Is How Tomorrow Moves. It's two albums that I did as a double session because the two artists made a duet. And I was like, you know what, it will be fun to get into this artist's music. I still didn't get like too much into them, but I'm so happy that I could know their existence, you know, especially with Luffy. Bewitched is a beautiful, beautiful album. I love what she's doing to jazz from the start, obviously. Bored, which is from the Goddess version, and While You Were Sleeping, they were in my rotation of music. Biba Doobie, she's a cutie. I like her styles of music. She has a lot of range when it comes to This Is How Tomorrow Moves. Take a Bite, Ever Singing, Real Man, which is really being brought in the TikTok sounds now.
Confess I loved you from the start.
And so that was the best music of 2024 from me. I hope that you enjoyed this video. In a way, it's a little review of my year in music and just what I appreciated, enjoyed, shed tears for it sometimes, or just pop my head to it, have fun. Please comment down below what were your favorite music of 2024. I still have stuff from last year that I definitely did not get into it. Especially is on my radar, Claro, Listening to Charm. I might do a video on it. And the Marias, of course. Thank you so much for watching. Happy New Year. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!